What's up, my beautiful peoples? You know how we doing it? You feel me? It's day 5, right? And usually when I get into these things, I'm really just like giving advice and all that type of stuff, right? But it's been really on my spirit to talk to y'all about content creation. The thing a lot of people need help with. You know what? I'm gonna keep my glasses on. I got used to taking my glasses off because my glasses were fucked up and shit like that for a cool minute. And don't mind the hat too. I liked it. It didn't really match that well, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it on. You feel me? But content creation. I've had a decent amount of people hitting me up asking about content, asking, how to get into it, how to start it, how to, just get their foot in, whatever the case may be, right? And I think I'm at the position where I can help you guys, right? I've built 2 of my pages up to over 100K. And I've also built my grandfather's page up to over 30K, I was actually behind the camera a lot before I actually got in front of the camera. And I think that's probably what helped me transition a little bit. I was kind of already comfortable and I had saw other people do it and I was like giving the avenues and the how-tos to other people. So it was just kind of getting out of my own way, which is the main barrier most creators have to face. Getting out of your own way. I'm sorry, y'all, my throat's messing up today, but it doesn't matter if you're just starting, right? Let's say you're at a point where you don't have nothing but your goddamn iPhone and shit like that. You need to be pulling that iPhone out and you need to be sitting there yapping to the camera. You need to be sitting there talking to that camera as if you were talking to somebody on FaceTime. You're talking to one of your homegirls, one of your homeboys, etc. And just get the thought across. And the more you get used to just having your camera on throughout the day, you'll train yourself to just naturally look for those opportunities where it could potentially be some content. A lot of us, we get stuck in the ideation phase. And I hope my camera's in focus. I'll move my head down there, then maybe jolt it back up, and maybe it'll get back in focus. You know what? Usually I would cut this type of stuff out, but I think it's beneficial keeping this in, right? Because this is literally showing you the reality of creators, right? Cameras fall out of focus. You have to stop, repeat things, do them over again and stuff like that. And I'm a perfectionist. I'm not going to chill out till I see that goddamn square in front of me. So hold on. Maybe this may need to get cut or something. I don't know. But that's the funny thing too, because to you guys, right, the camera looks fine, right? But to the creator, we'll be in our perfectionist headspace. And that's something that every creator faces, right? I'm sitting here with over 100K, right? People don't even necessarily give a fuck about how it looks and shit like that. They come for me for my message, what I have to say and stuff like that. But I still be in my head about my new things as if I haven't been doing this every single day for some time now. You get what I'm saying? It's like, when it comes to content creation, you're always going to be in your way. It's kind of what being an artist in general. If you're a content creator, you're an artist. Now, but I do think that there's another level to this, right? Because you can be a content creator or you can use content to build a business, right? Which I think a lot of people is actually trying to do. Because I heard a lot of you guys think that you guys need millions of followers. Oh my God, y'all. It's kind of crazy. My throat wasn't this bad until I actually started talking, getting on camera. I was on one-on-one calls and everything. Man, I'm going to keep it raw because y'all just seeing the process of it. I'm not going to keep cutting all these things out, making it look like super duper polished and perfect. Y'all are literally getting the real. But you could build a business with social media. It's cars and shit going everywhere. I feel like there's so many distractions. I don't know if this is like spiritual just to distract me or something like that. I feel like that's exactly what this is. When you have certain distractions and shit like that, it's really just to throw you off track. There's it's an energy that doesn't want you to get further to what you're going towards. It's an energy that's trying to prevent this message reaching you guys because of the frequency and the potency of it. When things can, when you're talking about things that can change people's lives, there's always going to be some type of adversity because deep down there's a spirit, there's somebody sending evil eye that does not want that person's situation to change. Throat chakra. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is all spiritual, but you can build a $1 million business on social media with barely any following. There's millions of examples of, I'm not gonna say millions, maybe I'm over exaggerating it, but there's at least hundreds of thousands of people who have done this. This is called digital marketing. If you have something to sell, if you have a message, if you have merch, if you have music, if you have, I don't know, calls, if you have books, if you have paintings, if you have socks, it doesn't matter. If you have something, you can use it to bring more sales to what you're trying to do. You don't have to just get on social media and act like these streamers and stuff like that that's doing backflips off tables and breaking shit and getting concussions on stream for 12-year-olds just to make some money. If you have a real purpose, if you feel like you have something that's valuable to people, but you just have difficulties getting your product or getting your message to the people who would give a fuck about it, social media is that way. And you can't necessarily give a fuck about how people think. You can't give a fuck about how people feel. You can't give a fuck about anything like that. You have to remember what you're getting into it for. Some people are getting into it just so they can share their story and vent and build a sense of community. And that works too, you know? So when you're in the process of building your community, don't let the haters deter you from fighting your community, because the whole reason you got into it was to find your community. So why would you quit before you find your community? Like, remembering why you got into it and the initial goal actually helps you a lot. And I just don't think you guys need to be hesitating as fucking much. You know, truthfully, honestly speaking, just go after the shit. Don't make it as like don't stagnate yourself and be like, I need the best camera, I need this, I need that. No, you just need to turn on whatever camera you have. Get it in a semi-decent spot where you have good audio. Buy some little mics, use your headphones, sit in the car, have the phone closer up to you, something. You get what I'm saying? And just strengthen that muscle of just talking, showing what you do. Like, y'all be going to the gym and stuff like that. And just turn on the camera in the gym. Say, fuck what everybody else talking about. Turn on that damn camera. And that can blow up. With content, you never know what blows up. I had a queen literally on a call today. She called me just to talk about content. Just to get advice on how to get into content. And she had told me she does poetry and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, see, look. If you were to just post your poetry clips, you never know. You may fuck around and get a whole music deal. You could be a whole artist right now and you don't know. But you're not sharing it and you're not confident enough in your ability. You know? I remember I was at a point where I was about to lose damn near everything. I swear. And I had a degree. I didn't have no job though. And the bills were stacking up. And I had to make a real tough decision, right? Because I knew at this point it was like, okay, Uber is not gonna cut it. It's not gonna be able to pay me what I needed to pay me so I can do what I need to do. So what the fuck I gotta make happen? So while I was in there putting in job applications and shit like that, I was like, okay, let's say I got an interview next week, 2 weeks. And then I would have to wait until I get my first paycheck with it, which would be in like another 2 weeks or so, right? So realistically, I still wouldn't be seeing any money actually touch my pocket for the next month, right? So instead of me sitting here, and I tried to sit there and put in resumes, right? I sat there for 2 hours, 3 hours. And I was like, what the fuck's going on, right? And a thought came to me. The only difference between the employee and the entrepreneur is the choices they make in those exact moments. You see, the employee is about to put the next 8 hours of their time into putting in fucking resumes, into trying to find, somebody to hire them. The entrepreneur is about to spend that next 8 hours sending pitches. That entrepreneur is about to spend that next 8 hours making content. The entrepreneur is about to spend the next 8 hours learning how to sell something. The employee headspace is about to spend that next 8 hours sending in resumes. Realistically, you only need one pitch, one piece of content, one whatever the fuck to work, and it changes the whole trajectory of what you're going after. Same thing with a job resume. You only need one of them places to call you back and say yes to the interview, and you got yourself a whole position with a salary locked in for some years, hopefully they don't fire you. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing, but it comes down to choices, and you have to know that certain shit is for you. Like, You can't be hesitant. That's why they say you can't be walking on the edge and think that you're going to hit. You got to get to the point where you're like, you know what, nah, I know that this is for me. Because if not, that corporate lifestyle is going to overtake your entrepreneurship solely on mindset. You'll have the time and everything, my nigga, my queen, to do exactly what you're trying to do. The mindset that's required to be somebody's employee is not the same mindset that's required to build your own shit. So eventually, if you don't have very clear boundaries, which is going to be hard to do, those energies are going to intertwine. One of them is going to become more dominant. Either your entrepreneurial spirit's going to become more dominant and you're going to hate every second that you're at that fucking job to the point where you damn near self-sabotage and quit/get fired. Or you're going to fall into that fucking job and the job is going to overpower entrepreneurship. You're going to be like, oh, I don't have time. I don't want to do it. I don't, it's just, maybe it just wasn't meant for me, there's blah, 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 all that other type of shit, And that all comes from how you think in the moment. And that's what I'm saying. Everybody has to go through it. Like I came from a corporate household, quote unquote. You feel me? Like, wasn't rich. Middle class, low middle class, all that type of shit. Like everybody else, especially coming in LA and shit like that, right? But my mom had got a master's degree, I believe, in like business administration and shit like that. So she was pushing the go get a job corporate route heavy, and the deep route trying to get into that shit. I even went to school for business real estate and I ended up dropping out. That shit just wasn't in me. I didn't want to go to college point blank period, but since I was being forced to go, I ended up going to a film school so I can edit, because I was like, God damn, if I'm going to be forced to go to school anyways, I'm not about to force myself to do some shit that like algebra and go like try to be a lawyer and shit like that, knowing damn well I don't want to read that big ass book of laws and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like I knew myself, so I kind of like chose the easier route if I was going to be forced down the hard route. You get what I'm saying? So I just think it was mindset, to be honest with you. I knew this shit wasn't for me, and I tried. But it's crazy. The longer you delay it, if you know entrepreneurship is for you, if something on your spirit is something you try content, try music, start trying that business, some merch, whatever the case may be, the longer you don't do that shit, life is going to catch up and it's going to make it harder for you to keep doing that shit. And it's going to start sinking on you more as a regret, because you're going to have moments where you start looking back and you're going to be like, God damn, I wasted so much fucking time. I wish I just did this shit sooner. I wish I just started sooner and got out my own goddamn way, because if I would have started back then, I wouldn't have been dealing with the shit I'm dealing with right now. It takes people going through those epiphanies sometimes to realize how much time we're wasting simply just thinking about the idea rather than executing on the idea. Maybe execution could do a lot. That could change your whole motherfucking life. Some of those ideas you got up there, if you just was to simply put them into motion, not even fucking finish it, put it into motion, your life would change. Y'all aren't putting enough things into motion. And then wondering why you feel stagnated and stuck to certain situations. Man, certain shit do be for y'all. Some of these paths be dead ass for y'all. It be having your name on it and everything. And you just don't believe in yourself enough. Your self-esteem ain't where it needs to be. So you gonna play yourself out of your opportunities. That's what I'm saying. With content, man, it's one of the most simplest things ever. Because you can find an audience for anything. As long as you're actually being yourself, learn how to make content, and you're in. Be yourself. Learn how to cut out the pauses. You get what I'm saying? Do a little simple shit. Put the text on, and then just do volume. And this is also like another damn, sound like a big ass baby. And it's like another piece of like business advice I heard from somebody called Alex Hormozy. And somebody asked him, he was like, what piece of advice would you give to the world if the internet just went quiet and you had to leave one piece with them and they just had one thing to remember to succeed and all that other type of shit? He was like, do so much volume that it is humanly impossible to not achieve your goal. 10x what you're doing for a prolonged period of time. Make it insanely hard for it not to be outcome possible for you. And chances are it's going to work. When I tell you I took that advice, I ran with it, and within less than half a year, I had 10K, 20K, 30K. When I tell you in the month of March, I was posting so much goddamn content, I grew 70K on one of my platforms in a month. That's what I'm talking about. Volume. And that's when I went all in. Man, when I got my first little money from social media, it wasn't from the calls and all the type of shit. It was the TikTok thing, the TikTok Creator Fund, right? Man, I saw a $200 check up in there. You feel me? I saw a little $200 thing. I was like, wait a minute. Because the first month I saw $2, right? And the second month it was $200. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. And I was posting how many videos a day? Right? I was posting 5, 6 videos a day. So if I double that, if I do 12 videos a day, then I may be able to hit 500, 600. And if I hit 500, 600, that means I can pay my car note, I can pay a bill, which means I don't have to work as hard. Right? So I was like, okay, shit, let me go all in. Right? I was like, I'm about to give myself 2 weeks. I'm not about to do Uber and none of that shit. I'm about to sit here and grind. Nigga, I raised that shit up to 12 videos a day. When I say them numbers, that was the same. I'm a number drop. The next month, I made $7,000. And even though that's not like, oh my God, you're rich. I'm BDG. I'm about to throw an M at you, bitch. I'm not doing. You get what I'm saying? That's not what happened. But nigga, from $2, $200 to 700 to 7,000. And you know what's crazy too? They fucked my views up. Something about TikTok. I don't know what happened. In the middle of the month, like at the 19th, my RPMs tanked to like 0. Bro, I had like a $5 RPM, bro. Do you understand how cracked that I was feeling? I was like, whoa. Like, huh? Like, you feel me? The shit was going viral. I was like, oh my God. And then out of nowhere, the shit just stopped. My RPMs went to like 0.01 pennies. I'm like, what the, huh? Meanwhile, my content's still booming. I'm still going viral. That's the same month I'm telling you I grew 70K. My shit still, nigga. And the money just stopped. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then that's why I realized everybody be like, okay, have products, have merch and all this other type of stuff so you can sustain yourself. Like, to do content full time and you're solely relying on ad money and shit like that, bro, you either better be a poppin' ass creator, like on YouTube or some shit, TikTok too, but you better just be popping, or be like a streamer or some shit like that. Because if you aren't consistently going viral and the RPMs is working in your favor, you're not getting flagged for stupid shit and all that. If you're bypassing all that, you may have a fun time. But if you're getting flagged and all that other type of shit, you're going to have to find other ways to damn near feed yourself just so you can make it sustainable. You get what I'm saying? Just so you can keep doing it and keep helping people. Yeah, man. It was definitely an experience. And it happened out of nowhere. Like I've been saying, I was making videos since a youngin'. Y'all can check my videos. I talk about it so much, man. Gaming videos and everything. I was insecure to talk about the shit I talk about now. Helping women and shit like that. Everybody calling me this simp ass nigga and all sorts of shit. Be like, man, god damn. You know what I'm saying? Getting bullied. Isolated. Just because a nigga thought a little bit different. That shit felt so weird. I'm like, damn, why can't I keep no motherfucking friends? Why everybody doing like god damn, like I got like homies and stuff like that I knew, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we were close, but I guess you could say like, okay, niggas grow up. Damn, a nigga was recording so much I ran out of storage and shit. But look, so you know how like people be having like them long ass friendships? Where it mean like they have like a friend group, 5 niggas and 5 girls or whatever. They all stay super duper close. They never leave their side. They move states together. They do all of that shit. I haven't had that. That wasn't my fucking experience. It wasn't at all. Now I'm not gonna say it's because like people were fucked up and all that type of shit, but that just wasn't my experience. You get what I'm saying? Like my experience was pretty fucking lonely. That's why I had so much goddamn time and energy to do this shit. Cause I'm like, man, y'all on bullshit. Y'all ain't talking about nothing. Y'all ain't doing nothing, man. Fuck. I'm not doing shit either, nigga. We all can't sit here and not do nothing, nigga. Somebody gotta do something, bro. Like, I want y'all to do it with me, but I'm not about to wait until y'all decide y'all gotta do something too. I'm about to do it, and eventually y'all catch up. But it's like, goddamn, somebody gotta do something. I gotta try. I was getting talked about for fucking trying. Meanwhile, these niggas weren't trying shit. These niggas was taking out PPP loans and shit, bum ass niggas. Over here getting on my ass, talking shit about me because I was trying to post content, trying to do something for myself. You feel me? Create something for myself. These niggas over here doing fraud and shit, talking shit, weird ass niggas. And that's the shit I was dealing with. I'm sorry. It's like, brother, who really got their priorities fucked up? Am I corny or are you corny? You look more corny than me. You gonna look more corny when damn, not with those weren't sirens. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, no, that's like England or some shit, nigga. You get what I'm saying, bro? I was dealing with stupid shit, bro. It's like, but I was letting those opinions matter to me, which actually means a lot fucking more. The fact that I even let these motherfuckers get under my skin to the point where that was even a problem. That was even an issue. That's, if anything, that's why I need my ass beat. The amount of times I gave a fuck. The amount of times I let stupid shit get under my skin. The amount of times I let a bot trigger me. You know, there's real life NPCs walking around this motherfucker. You just don't talk to all of them. There's people walking around here and they're just a storyline add-on. They're just a character. They're not humans. There's no soul in there. You get what I'm saying? They're just a trader who just stands there. You want some bread for your diamonds? No, then fuck you. He's not gonna get talked to again until the next fucking main character runs across. He's literally just a placeholder. Why are you letting placeholders fuck with your emotions? Leave. Fuck them niggas. They have nothing to do. They have nothing to help. They don't help with shit. They're literally just a side quest. You know how much energy I gave to side quests? Man, if I would have just kept my energy on the main motherfucking mission, I would have saved so much time. But no, I wanted to help this person. I wanted to save this person. I thought I could love this person to wholeness because it was in my gift and it was my strength. I thought I could change this person's life. Bullshit. Instead of changing my own goddamn life. Anyone know what's crazy too? I done actually planted seeds in certain motherfuckers' lives where their lives did change. They actually did get to the next step. And my silly ass was still sitting right there. Wondering what's happening. And then they leave because now they think that they're better than you. Not realizing that the reason that they got it was because the seeds that you planted. And it's like, oh, y'all think this shit is a game. I gotta take this shit a lot more seriously. A lot more seriously. Boundaries. Man, I had to learn boundaries, like big time. Hold on. You know what? I lied. I was gonna go over there and blow my nose and stuff like that. I'm just gonna thug it out, y'all. This is gonna be one of those episodes where I'm just congested. I feel like I'm talking through my nose. It's a weird feeling, but it is what it is. But yeah, the content thing just in general, because I know I kind of got a little bit haywire. Post the shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know when, how, what piece of content is going to work. You don't know anything. All you know is that you have unlimited lottery tickets. There's this saying when it comes to content. God just gave you unlimited lotto tickets where all you have to do is just keep putting them in. Eventually, one of them is going to hit. One of them is going to do something. You might get $20. You might get $1. But fuck, when you have unlimited fucking lotto tickets, if you actually sat there and scratched all them bitches and kept putting them bitches in and kept trying, you're going to hit eventually for 100,000, 1,000,000, 2,000,000. That's what it's like with views and content and, man, your online businesses and stuff like that. Just keep putting in the lotto tickets. Instagram and TikTok doesn't have a post limit. You can post however many times as you want throughout the motherfucking day. And you will see the results from that. Crazy enough, if you actually sat there all day and forced yourself to just make videos and post them on TikTok, especially TikTok. Instagram's algorithm's actually getting better, I'm not gonna lie. But Instagram and TikTok, a whole day where you just, every single time you had a thought, you went on TikTok, filmed it, put the text over it, didn't overthink it, posted it right then and there. Went about your day, did something else, but just kept TikTok on standby. You'll see some results, I promise. I promise. I promise, swear to my life. But y'all don't be saying the right things. Like, y'all don't be talking, though. That's the thing, too. Like, all love to this one girl, but I saw this one content creator, and she ain't really popping like that now. I know how content works, so she could literally blow up as we speak and then end up in fucking Drake's house tomorrow. I know how this shit works. But when she gets on camera, she's not really giving no thought. She's just kind of being goofy. She's like she'll like do like a little corny laugh, like, you know, like the things that you do like when you're by yourself, like fuck that bitch. Like, why would I do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, little shit. That ain't none. That's like meme shit. It's like quote unquote funny shit. You know how many people is posting quote unquote meme funny shit? When you get your thoughts out, though, if you can articulate your thoughts, you can build a community in anything, bro. Talking content, yap content, bro, come on. Just talk. Somebody's gonna listen. Somebody's gonna say something. Somebody's gonna engage. But y'all be hesitating. Oh, I'm only gonna post 3 videos a day. You telling me you could only post 3 1-minute videos, which means you only spent 3 minutes out of your day filming those 3 videos because they were only 1 minute each, right? Let's say it took about 2 minutes. It shouldn't even have took you that because you're literally just putting text, maybe a little background music and clicking post, right? But I'll give you some grace. 2 minutes. 3 minutes each. 3, 6, 9. That's 9 minutes out your day. You're telling me you only had 9 minutes to change your life? That shit don't make sense. If you know that you want to get into content, you need to be doing like goddamn 20. You telling me you can't put an hour and a half, 2 hours aside every day to change your life? You can only make 3 goddamn pieces? If you making 3 motherfucking pieces, you better be a hell of a scripter. You bet those 3 pieces of content better be shooting to the motherfucking stars, because that's not enough lottery tickets when you don't have a following, when you don't have anything. When you're trying to get the foot in, when you're trying to get the foot in the door, you see some niggas do it on accident. They weren't even trying to be content creators. They were just posting and something blew up and it was like, oh damn, it's happening. But if you're like, I'm trying to pivot, I want to get into content, you need more attempts. That's what helps you get better at it. That's what helps you, master your fucking craft. That's when you start learning the nuances, when you start posting and failing and then looking up how not to fuck up the shit that you fucked up the last time. So then you learned one more good lesson that you needed that was going to be implemented in the next stage of your content, whatever the case may be. It's always a building thing, like with anything in life. But you got to get in that shit. You got to put your big girl panties on, put your big boy panties on, get in front of that camera and talk. That's it. I'm not even telling you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even telling you to do nothing crazy. Talk. But dedicate time to it. You can do so many videos. Like, even if you're just doing meme content, like this little funny shit, and it's like 30 seconds. It's literally a 30-second video. Let's say it's a get ready with me. You're doing fashion shit. Set your camera up and literally get ready. That should only take you like 5 minutes if you're just doing the shit where you're just transitioning clothes and all that other type of shit. How long does it really take you to put your fucking clothes on? Show the shit to the camera and put it on. That's like 5 minutes, right? If that. When you're editing, cut it down. Another 5-10 minutes. Post it. That's 15 minutes for a whole get ready with me. Do 4 more of those in the hour. You have 4 get readies with me. If you were disciplined, you're going to post all 4 of those same day and do it again tomorrow. And then do another 4. If you know you're kind of lazy, you just did 4 days of content where you can post every single day. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's ways that you can work around it, but y'all be trying to find excuses to not get into it rather than just getting into it. Like I said earlier in the video, you don't even need like a shitload of followers and shit like that. Think about it. If you're hitting a specific audience, let's say you're trying to talk to people who buy a certain type of lip gloss, right? And you know that the lip gloss you sell is vegan and it helps people who have breaky lips and shit like that. If you make content talking about how breaking lips and it is a big problem and there's a lack of vegan things and you have a solution, you post that video, it may look like it flopped, right? It got 300 views, 500 views, not knowing all of those damn near 500 views were people who have fucked up lips. You only needed one of those 500 people on your quote-unquote flopping video to go pay for your lip gloss. And you just made a $30 profit. Because you made content to find who you were trying to reach. There's ways to go about it. There's content creation and then there's digital marketing. And y'all got to separate the two. Because you can be either or. You can just be a creator and just run up that fucking content bag and just stack up brand deals. That's the thing too. You can also build a business. You can do them both. But you got to understand the different lanes and the different avenues so you go into it with more awareness. And you don't feel like some shit ain't possible for you. Because I promise you, everything is possible. If it's available for the next person, it's available for you. The only reason why the next person got it is because they kept trying. They believed and they knew that it was for them, so they kept fucking going, right? Now, I think, before I even, spare me. Wow, that was needed. Oh, yeah. That was needed. So, the next thing that I really want to dig into y'all with is logical ways to move on, right? I think a lot of us, we get so emotional, so flustered by fucking life, that we make these things more difficult than it needs to be. When you know you need to let go of a motherfucker, let they ass go. Even if you feel fucked up. If they just did some blatant ass shit like just cheated on you and dogged you out, don't stay. Don't try fixing it. Don't try having no one last conversation. Y'all need to learn how to put y'all foot down where the fuck you stand. Y'all be feeling fucked up, mad, and you don't even want to walk forward, but you still putting one foot in front of the other with the motherfucker. Y'all need to get into the asset or the headspace, of just stopping. I'm not saying shit to you. I'm not responding. I'm not even looking your way. You can call me. I'm about to ignore that shit. I'm about to make you feel silly because you just called me 30 times and didn't get a response. I was on a date with a whole new nigga. You get what I'm saying? You gotta learn. You gotta learn how to stop it in the tracks. I know you feel like, oh, it's not that easy. Emotions be involved, just like you're addicted, which you are, right? But once you make the choice, you'll naturally get over that shit. The reason why y'all don't be getting through the shit is because there's a part of you that still hopes or wishes it could be different. So subconsciously, you're looking for that little sliver of hope that gives you the confirmation that you're going to possibly get it back. But once you're in the headspace where you're like, I don't even want it back, even if the motherfucker changed, I'm ready to experience something completely different. I'm ready to experience life and go down a completely different path. That's when you start actually letting this shit go. That's when you start having like different epiphanies and different thoughts about your actual situation. But you're not going to ever get to those points when you're still dwelling on the fact that you lost the shit. That's really big. I heard somebody outside. That's why I paused. But yeah, decision. That's the main thing. You got to make up your mind. And then after that, you're human. Go live life. How do I move on? Doing shit that you haven't did before. An insane man does the same thing every fucking time and expects a different result. Switch up your routine. Maybe get different friends. Maybe go to a different cafe. Maybe try different foods. Maybe put yourself around different shit. And allow yourself to have new experiences. So you can see what it's like to live life outside of what you've been experiencing. Because I promise you, when you go outside, not everybody's experiencing what the fuck you're experiencing. Some people are on a completely different train of thought. But you'll be so locked into what the fuck you're experiencing and what the fuck you're thinking that you're completely blind to the fact that life is happening right in front of you. I heard that there was this thing that was like flies or like evil eye or like people watching you and stuff like that. So I'm going to hold this and I'm going to whack the shit out this fly. Watch, y'all going to see it on camera. Look, this is going to be part of the 1 hour thing. Because if y'all want me to just be vulnerable and like no skips, I have to be honest with you guys about what like the middle parts of these videos look like. I hate bugs and like the nuisance of that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think flies are the stupidest. Like, bro, flies aren't good for shit. They're literally just good for shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. I don't know what God was doing. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. But yeah, man, change you guys' fucking routines. I think that's one of the biggest things that got me out of a lot of my narcissistic relationships. Knowing how to switch my focus. When it first happened, it happened on accident. I ended up quitting my fucking job and going to the film school, like I told you about. It was some whole other traumatic shit that happened leading up to that. But it was kind of like a byproduct. Like God was forcing me to change my surroundings. And then magically, I was gaining more confidence. I was believing in myself more. I was still fucked up. And I was still checking these people's Instagrams and shit like that, stalking their pages. Like it for for my stalkers, you know. There's this website, right, called IG Anonymous or like Instagram Anonymous, right? Where you can literally type in people's usernames and you can watch their story anonymously. So if you don't want to be like in their story views and shit like that and having them see it, you can literally just go to an anonymous browser and type in their shit and start stalking their stories, and they'll never know that you're watching their stories. I was that fucking retarded. I was that insane. I was that cuckoo over these people. And the more I actually just focused on myself, those things stopped. Like when you have enough important shit going on in your life, you don't give a fuck about what this motherfucker's posting on their story, because what you're doing in real life is weighing more and bringing more of an emotional fulfillment than what you would get if you were focused over there. Like, and sometimes it just comes down to priorities too. I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I've been getting fucked over, it was when I wasn't focusing on the shit in my life that I needed to. I wasn't posting enough content. I wasn't working out enough. I wasn't, truly loving myself, nurturing myself, investing into myself. I was slacking, and I was putting the relationship first. And every single time I put the relationship first, them same motherfuckers left. I had to learn how to put me first. And hopefully the person I'm with, she puts herself first. So therefore, we create a dynamic where we're pouring into each other from love, not lack. Because we've actually addressed ourselves and gave ourselves what we needed to show up properly in the relationship. And that comes with the same tools that you use when you move on. Letting go of a motherfucker, working out more, reading more, all that shit. The disciplines you build to get out of heartbreak are the same disciplines that you should be keeping while you're in the relationship. There should not be no disconnect between those. Everything should be intertwined. So it's like, if you don't want to lose yourself in relationships, just stop not doing the things that you know is meant for you just because you're in a relationship. If the relationship is taking too much time away from it, then you need to set boundaries with the relationship and or bring the relationship in so you guys can do it together. But end all be all, you shouldn't be sacrificing the exact things that bring you peace. Ever. You need to get back to your routines. You need to get back to your habits, point blank period. And find the things that's beneficial. If you have certain things in your routine that's getting stale, that ain't helping you, is bringing heavy ass energy and all this other type of shit, remove yourself from it and try something different for once, because that what maybe actually gets you to the other side. Sometimes a lot of us, we just need a boost. We just need that extra little push to get us to the other side, to actually realize that certain shit was possible. And don't be afraid of new people. Please don't. Bro, there's amazing people everywhere. There's fucked up people everywhere, but there's amazing people everywhere. Like there's 8 billion people, so there's literally people everywhere, which means that there's so many different varieties and personality types and, you know, perspectives out here. You can get you one if you focus on the right shit. If you stop trying to hold on to people, if you stop trying to love people's potential, and you love people for who they are, you know, and the moment that they show you that they're not capable of being the person that they signed up to be, you address it, you try fixing it once, twice, and then you leave, because you don't subject yourself to people's bullshit. I'm never an advocate of that shit. Once a motherfucker wants to start acting stupid, kick their ass to the curb. Once he wants to start fucking on other dirty ass bitches and shit like that, just for the kink of it, raw and all that shit, he don't got no motherfucking self-esteem. Kick his ass to the curb. You don't need his ass. You putting your life at risk. You're literally putting yourself in a position where you can literally catch some shit. Why not just move on? Go to the dudes who have more security, more discipline, more self-control, and save yourself the whirlwind of fucking emotions of trying to make a man who's choosing to be a dickhead stop. Why not go to the man who's already chose to stop doing that shit? Because they understand the severity of acting like that and what that brings to the woman that they're with, energetically, spiritually, and physically. And this all comes down to you guys' decision making and what the fuck you're choosing for yourself. Stop choosing bum-ass dirty niggas. Choose niggas who give a fuck about themselves and is not going to put you in a position where you're suffering, because they have more self-respect for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's a cold nigga. If he can look at himself suffering and be like, baby, come struggle with me. Yeah, come get fucked up with me. That's a cold nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That's a cold nigga. If he know he down bad and out and he's inviting you into his struggle. If you're choosing to go into his struggle, that's a completely different story. You really love that nigga. Go ahead and hold him down. But if he's having to convince you and you're deep down like, I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of I kind of don't want to go through that. But he's like, nah, I need some support. If you really love me, you'll be down for me. You'll do that shit. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Let that nigga suffer by his goddamn self. If I love you is based upon me struggling with you, then goddamn, I guess I don't love you that much. You're right. You're right. See, on our page, we can't be delusional. We're not delusional. We'll tell these motherfuckers, yeah, you're right. I don't love you that much. You're absolutely right. Because if I did, I would put up with this. I'm not putting up with this. I don't give a fuck how much love I got. I'm not putting up with this. Right? Because motherfuckers want you to be delusional. People want your love to override your sense of logic and perspective. That they want you to be stupid for them on the basis of love and loyalty. No, fuck you. You get what I'm saying? If your love and loyalty isn't tied to positivity, my nigga, then fuck it. This ain't no love. That's trauma bonding. That ain't no loyalty. That's trauma bonding. All of that shit got one word, trauma bonding. I'm not trauma bonding with you bitch niggas and you bitches. I'm not trauma bonding with nobody. I don't give a fuck what we went through. We could even go through the same thing. That's not going to be the basis of why we get along. We get along because I like your character. I get along because I like who you are as a person, not because we went through the same shit. No. We have to actually be on the same accord. That's a completely different perspective. That's a completely different way of going about life and handling shit. In my perspective, at least, you know. Let me put my glasses on so I can check and see how much time we got left on this camera. Man, let me restart the camera. Okay, now I only got one more thing to talk about in this video, right? And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I don't get to the 1 hour mark. I promise you guys I have been trying. I have. But if you get on camera and try talking for an hour straight every day, and you will see how energy extensive this actually is, right? This takes energy. This takes focus to a certain extent. Making sure you're not getting off track. You're, actually making sense. And, I'm filming myself. So it's like making sure everything's working properly. I'm in focus. This is a whole thing of a jiggy, but I did it enough to where I think I just autopilot. You get what I'm saying? Once I turn on the camera, I start autopiloting. I have to, as if I don't, this would be really draining. But I guess that's why they say it's just in certain people. It's just in me to do content. So it's like, hey, come on, let's go. But the last thing I want to talk about is my papa and his legacy, right? I talked about that. Actually, I've talked about that on my page. See, and then I have. If you guys just go on my YouTube page, I've already talked about that. So actually, I'm just going to give him a shout out. Shout out to Papa. He put out the very first rap album. He's a poet, Pan-Africanist, 86. Last one alive in the group. Very wise man, Go check out his page and his content. Like what I said earlier at the beginning, I got his page up to like 30,000, his Instagram page. Go check that thing out, But yeah, I don't think I have really that much left for you guys today. I started off the video and my throat was kind of like choppy and stuff like that and things like that. I think when I signed up to do this, the reason why I wanted to do the 1 hour thing, right, was because I just wanted to push myself and get in the gist and like the habit of doing more. So I feel like sometimes I get in my way and I just don't do as much as I know I can. And then it eats at me, But today I truly do believe I'm giving it my all. I'm giving it the best that I can. Not every day is the same. Not every day is going to be perfect. Not every day is going to align the ways that we want, but at least you try. And I think that's honestly my biggest test right now with the YouTube. It's just trying. Really putting my best foot forward. I didn't went all in on every other platform, damn near posting 12 videos a day. Why can't I, stay consistent over here, So I hope you guys are really enjoying the videos. And honestly, I had somebody actually book, start booking calls from the YouTube page. It was actually lets me know like, okay, these videos is clicking. These long form videos is helping. It is. Something else I actually want to touch on, crazy enough, because it's just coming to me as I keep going. Trust your gut instinct. Trust that intuition of yours, When you feel like something's off, when you feel like somebody's cheating on you, and particularly trust it. If you feel as if something's going to work in your favor, trust it. If you feel as if something's off, trust it. Start trusting the ways that you feel a lot more. And start being a lot more fearless, too. I'm going to be honest with you, We're a lot more stronger and capable than we give ourselves credit for. We let small situations in our life create such large turmoil emotionally when that should have never been the case. There's certain things that happen to us that we should have let go just as fast as it happened. But unfortunately, as humans and how our emotions are wired, we hold on to things and we remember things. And sometimes the things that we remember and the things that we hold on to outweighs reality in the moment, and it blocks your blessings. It blocks what God can actually bring in front of you and the opportunities that can actually be presented, because you're moving from lack. You're moving from old shit. You're not actually being true to yourself like how you actually should be. And that's something that you learn over time. Once you start trusting yourself, you'll start seeing the results and the rewards of trusting yourself. And then it actually makes you want to trust yourself even more, because you got the confirmation that trusting yourself was the right decision. So your default over time is going to go to trusting yourself and making those decisions. It's all a give and take. It's all a give and take. Life is very beautiful. Life is very peaceful. You know, and we're very protected as people, spiritually and physically, whether we realize it or not. You know, there's not a lot of things that can harm us. That's why they say the only thing that people can send at us is negative energy, emotionally, right? And that's why working on your self-esteem and your self-concept is so important. Because once you realize a lot of people's last resort is their words, and you desensitize yourself to words, you're good. You wanna, Papa also gave me some game too. He was like, dudes get caught with their eyes. Women get caught with their ears. And that's why a lot of you guys get manipulated. You know, the women, you listen to how he talk. He talking a good game. You know, he telling you he love you and all this future planning and all this type of shit. You fall for the okie doke because you're not looking at the reality of the situation and what's being presented to you. Vice versa. Right. Vice versa, there's some people out here, like the dudes, who they aren't listening to a goddamn thing you're telling them. They don't give a fuck what's leaving your mouth. They already think you're lying. But as long as you look good enough, they're gonna go. They're gonna be easy. They're on go mode. You can literally tell them the stupidest shit. If you look good enough, they're still gonna try. Men get manipulated because they don't know how to turn their second head off. You guys get manipulated because you don't know how to use one of your heads. You guys get what I'm saying? Y'all use women, y'all be using your heart a lot. And I think that fucks y'all up more than anything, because men will do some very logical shit to you and your emotions will override what he's actually doing. And you will think he's doing some shit that even he knows he's not doing because you're emotional. Which is why I always say, I just got to focus on destimulating, centering yourself. You're just too emotional. So focus on things that would help you not be as emotional. Like, man, I wish I dedicated myself to the gym. When I was super duper fucked up, I was just sitting at home crying, talking to the same people who wasn't really doing nothing, who they were probably fucked up too. Man, I wish I had dedicated myself to the gym every day. I wish I had started content and went hard and shit and really dedicated myself to my goals in the midst of me feeling fucked up. Man, that would have been the best move ever for me. But I allowed my emotions to stagnate me to the point where I didn't do shit. I didn't try a damn thing. You get what I'm saying? I let my emotions get me to that point, and I never again. Once you realize emotions don't dictate reality, you'll never let your emotions fuck up what you got. Ever. Ever. But yeah, man, I think that's probably it. Alright, I think that's probably all I have for this episode. We went on a little journey today, you know. Started off with my throat messing up and stuff like that, all the noise and stuff, man. It's just interesting. But I'm happy that I'm getting in front of this camera and doing the more long form things, because this is beneficial. And I think one of the main things that would help, if I'm just being honest with you guys, more engagement, right? Like if you guys were commenting and, you know, if you guys were commenting and, you know, asking, you know, hey, can you talk about this? Hey, what do you think about this? And all this other type of stuff, you know, it'd probably be a little bit easier, you know, to have these super duper long talks. I'm just really going off the brain. I'm going off my spirit, you know. I don't script these things. I just keep it 100 with y'all throughout the journey, you know. Y'all get the ugly, the bad. Y'all are going to get everything. Like, I'm really training myself not to cut a lot of these videos. Of course, there's natural cuts because my camera turns off at 30 minutes every time. So there's like a few cuts, but like I'm trying to get used to just showing y'all the unpolished versions, because I think I've tried so long to get everything just so polished and perfect and shit, and I really do believe that held me back, because I wouldn't post. You know, I start doubting myself, especially when you start looking at other motherfucking creators, bro, and everybody's hiring editors and all this other type of stuff. Granted, I went to school for editing too, but it's like, goddamn, I can't create, help people, and be editing shit to the max and having everything polished. I gotta be okay with some things looking ugly. I gotta be okay with y'all getting some videos where I'm sitting here and my throat fucking up the whole time. I'll do better tomorrow. That's one thing I will say. That's one thing I will. That's one promise I will make to you guys. You know, next video, since I'm noticing like there's kind of like a little bit of hesitancy and stuttering around like, you know, the flow of this sometimes, even though you guys be saying that you love it and stuff like that and you be helping it. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist, and it's hard for me not to really try when I give a fuck about these things, you know. So even though I'm not gonna sit here and script out these things, sit here and read it, I'm gonna do a little bit more pre-planning, you know. I'm gonna go through my comments, go through things, find people, you know, who's asking me things, and, you know, just make this a little bit more interactive, you know. And I'm always open to you guys if you guys wanna get on some content, stuff like that. Probably make some Zoom calls, something like that. Because I know people have like digital podcasts and stuff like that. You know, probably in a different space and a different time, to where we can actually get away with a lot, right? So yeah, we're gonna be trying things out. Yeah, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all are really taking time to yourself. Give yourself as much time as you need to heal through whatever you're trying to heal through. Don't rush it. Believe in yourself. Know that you will get to the other side. Know that there has been people who has been in your exact position and they have seen the other side, so you can too. You know? And yeah, I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.